I saw cocaine quite early on in my career. I've been served it, I've been given it, I had my hand shaken and left with little wraps of foil. I've been asked to dust cocaine on top of soufflés to put it on as ice and sugar.
Shit.
But I've never touched a line of cocaine in my life. But coke's everywhere. It's spiraling out of control. I knew it was going to be intense, but not quite like this. And you look at the numbers of what comes into this country.
You're not messing around there, that's big. Jesus Christ.
Year on year, death after death, here and abroad. That's the devastation, I think. And yet, no one wants to talk about it, but they all want to snort it.
I've discovered that Britain consumes 30 tons of the drug every year. More than any other country in Europe.
And the value of this, I mean, this is a kilo.
About 100 grand.
Ladies, hello.
For the first time, I've investigated cocaine use in my own restaurants and found it being snorted freely in my staff and customer toilets.
I'm not asking you to shit on anyone, but how bad is it?
People have been taking the side plates into the bathrooms.
And so they're chopping up.
Yes.
Staff toilets, positive. Customer toilets, positive. It is everywhere. We're not prepared to have another casualty.
This is personal. My friend and talented head chef died in a cocaine-fueled accident.
I broke down because I had no idea. I kicked myself for not doing more.
It's made me feel determined to get to the root of it.
I've travelled deep into the Amazon jungle to discover cocaine's toxic recipe.
I'm appalled at what goes into it. The fumes and the smell coming off that is extraordinary.
With more people dying from cocaine use than ever before, this time I'm going face to face with the dealers,
That smell.
traffickers, even killers,
Honestly, I'm shitting myself.
moving this drug into Britain.
If they see us coming, they can arm themselves with knives, guns.
I want to know whether this trade can ever be stopped.
How in the hell are the police going to get back in control with the size of the problem?
I've already seen how coke is made in Colombia. Now, I'm continuing my journey travelling southwest to the epicenter of a new boom in cocaine production, supplying Britain. I want to witness firsthand the extraordinary deadly war on drugs.
Gracias.
So, I'm joining the country's elite counter-drug squad, the Anti-Narcoticos.
No, I'll be fine, thank you. These are the military at the forefront of this whole drug war. Now, their job is intense. I mean, they're finding the cartels, they're locating these crops, destroying the crops, identifying the labs, taking the labs out. These guys here are responsible for stopping cocaine coming into the UK. The war they're fighting on a daily basis is huge.
Trained by the British SAS, this unit has been fighting cocaine production and the cartels for nearly 30 years. They encounter fierce resistance and have suffered serious losses.
Dios y Patria, buenas tardes.
Today, they've identified a plantation of coca leaf, the plant that's used to make cocaine. They plan to destroy the crop with chemical spray.
They're flying 90 minutes away up to the north of the jungle, and both helicopters will land those troops on there and then make the ground safe. And then we'll fly in with the sprayers. Hopefully when we land, the ground's safe. What's the danger?
Okay, the dangers, we have campos minados or personal explosive. At the ground.
Right.
So
like landmines?
Yeah.
Right.
We have illegal groups, armed illegal groups.
Right.
The population of this area will attack or block the policeman.
So, eyes wide open and be alert, as always.
Always.
There's still possibly, a chance to come under attack. And there's 2 guerrilla companies out there that one have handed the weapons in, one are still on the loose. And also, these farmers get agitated, so they set up snipers. Also, potential land explosives left to upset, the police. So, yeah, it's pretty grim. I mean, I knew it was going to be intense, but not quite like this.
In this area, police are sometimes kidnapped by coca growers, and recently one was shot dead. This unit is on high alert, and I have no idea what will happen next. We reached the target. Below are industrial-sized coca fields, all believed to be cartel-controlled.
Wow, that's unbelievable. The size of it. Jesus Christ. Major, I can't believe how much is in here. I can't believe the amount that's in here. It's everywhere. It's very thick and very dense. My God.
First, so the principal job is detect explosive too.
Wow. So the dog's checking out for explosives.
He detects the explosive on the area. Yeah.
You found an explosive. Holy shit.
El último que entramos de químico, el último funcionario.
Wow.
Asperge haga su trabajo.
So the area is safe. You can go start spraying now.
Yeah.
I cannot believe the size of this crop. It's unbelievable.
Asperge haga su trabajo.
The men have to spray each plant by hand. A painstaking process. If they did this by air, it would destroy the forest. They're also up against the plantation's employees, who may be armed. They appear through the bushes to defend the business. A warning shot is fired to attempt to disperse the workers.
Estamos listos, mi. Okay, it's time to go out.
Shit. What's going on?
Sí, señor, estamos listos.
Farmers are starting to kick off, and they're getting angry.
The team will persist on the ground, but they can no longer guarantee my safety.
Time to go.
As we leave, I can see the farmers and the labs used to turn the leaf into cocaine. Hundreds of tons of the drug are produced in this area. From here, it starts the clandestine journey to Britain, through countries like Brazil, Venezuela and Honduras.
That was incredible. I mean, I've been on some rides in my life, but that was just insane. Also, just the speed and how quick and professional the team were, mind-blowing. The coca plant was almost like vineyards that were spiraling out of control in a way that they were so dense. Now you start to get a grip on how big of a problem it is.
The job for the anti-narcoticos now is way bigger than I thought.
It's intense. It's bloody intense. And there's an outright war going on.
I now have a sense of the size of this business, the enormity of coke production in Colombia, which has gone up by 52% in just 12 months. I want to see what this boom in cocaine means for the people back home.
UK, we now introduce 30 tons of cocaine, the majority of it coming from Colombia. The rawness of the war here and what it's doing globally, we've got We've got some issues back in the UK.
Britain imports £2 billion worth of cocaine every year, more than any other country in Europe. I've been to the source in Colombia and seen the thriving cocaine industry that supplies the UK. Now, I want to meet the elusive criminals who distribute the drug here. I found a contact with criminal connections in the southeast of England and set up a covert meeting with a top cocaine dealer.
So I'm waiting for a pickup. Guy's going to take me to a hotel to meet a big dealer. He's a major player. He must be making a fortune and responsible for a lot of it that's hitting the streets. So the chance of him getting caught, is he armed, is he not? Who knows? All I know is I've been told to be here at a certain time. Hat, glasses, jump in a car and get dropped off. So he's all cool. He's cool. Straight up. Fucking hell. Where does the main source come in from?
Comes in from the sea. That's why I'm involved in all the Colombians.
Right.
Bought a boat, 18-foot fishing boat, and then we go get it, launch it in the water. Then we get a phone call, and then it'll be like, it's there, it's landed, and then we go get the boat, and then it'll go out.
And we're talking a couple of kilo at a time?
You could get 4, 5 keys, 6 keys.
What's the value of that? 6 key?
Well, 6 key, we sell a kilo, 60 grand. So,
Fucking hell, so 6 sixes.
yeah,
So 360 grand.
yeah,
And do you have any on you now?
yeah.
Oh, fucking hell. That smell.
Mm.
What is that? That's the
It's the purity of it.
purity of it.
Yeah.
What's that worth now?
That's 70 grand each.
It's 140 grand.
Yeah.
So that could be cut.
That could be cut multiple times.
And if someone nicked that, what would you do?
If I caught them,
Yes.
well, then the toys would be coming out to play then, wouldn't they?
The toys?
The toys, yeah.
Oh, you mean like your...
Well, we've got firearms around us and that, things like that.
Right. How big a demand have you seen it in the last 10 years? How much is it in demand now?
Well, I feel like everyone's on it.
Everybody?
Everybody, yeah.
Is
Everyone
it-
comes to it. Doctors, police officers, anyone.
Police officers?
Yeah, doctors,
Lawyers?
everyone.
Fuck.
Everybody.
It does fuck people up,
Mhm.
royally. Do you have any guilt on that?
No.
No.
I don't have no guilt in it. I'm not putting a gun to the bed telling them to come and buy it, am I? It's they're adults.
But if you get caught, you could be banged up for life.
Yeah. But I know that in myself. I know the consequences. And I know it's just like a money spinner for us, isn't it? More and more people want it, then it's more better for us. We have more money.
I'm fucking shocked. You know, just walking around with that amount of coke. I think the money is the addiction for him now. And I think, by the sounds of things, he enjoys the fucking danger.
Cocaine is a dangerous game. The production boom in Colombia means cheaper wholesale coke here. More people are competing to get into the trade, meaning violence is on the rise.
Gangs across the country are increasingly turning to deadly weapons.
Putting ordinary people at risk.
A gunman turned up and shot her mother and her 7-year-old son. The pair caught in the crossfire.
I want to see firsthand how the British police take the fight to the dealers. Detective Sergeant Bob Dolce of the Metropolitan Police is battling over 200 gangs in London alone.
This is Operation Rayon, which is basically a spin-off from a job 2 weeks ago, which resulted in a number of arrests and a number of seizures of Class A drugs.
This morning, we're raiding the house of a suspected street dealer.
Would you normally start this early, Bob, in terms of, stunning them at 5 in the morning?
Yeah, we always do an early raid, just because we want them in bed.
Yeah.
If they're up and about or they see us come in, they can fuss drugs away, arm themselves with knives, guns. So we always try and get them when they're most vulnerable, which is when they're asleep.
Yeah.
And we always tend to stop short of the address and we walk up, just as much of a surprise as we can.
Yeah. Shall I go with you, Bob?
Yeah, let's go. Yeah, stick with me.
Pretty intense, isn't it?
This is a two-bedroom flat. You can see how many officers we have to bring. Yeah, there's 30 of us here today.
Shit. Is this normal size?
Yeah.
Shit.
It's all about the risk.
Yeah.
Jobs like this, he might be 21, but we don't know how he's going to react. He's going to pick a knife up. Are there going to be 10 people in there?
No. I mean, you would shit yourself. You looked out your window and you saw an army of these guys coming towards us.
Certainly not going to make your day.
No. Shit.
That's how we do it. So we're police officers. We've got a warrant to search these premises for drugs, all right. Where's your boy? Not here.
The suspect is not home.
We're just going to search your boy's room.
The hunt begins for any evidence that could lead to a conviction.
Big windows in the room.
Well, that's an ex-reg Mercedes.
Bloody hell.
Not bad.
Yeah.
Doesn't work.
21.
21's got a better car than me.
So he'd have that in his trousers?
Yeah.
My God.
And that is that will kill you.
Yeah. Bloody hell.
People carry a knife instead of a gun because you won't go to prison for a knife on your first occasion. You get a gun, you get 5 years mandatory, so... and that does just as much damage.
A knife?
Yeah. Easily. Oh, there you go. So, there's another knife, wrapped in cling film. So don't get no fingerprints on it.
Find it then, find it.
This police dog is trained to detect drugs, firearms and money.
It's an indication there's something there.
It's amazing. Wow. That's quick.
Well, there you go.
Good boy, Joe.
That's a wad there, isn't it?
In fact, it's probably a grand there, yeah. So that'll now be seized by us. He's not getting that back. If we catch him in that car, I'll take his car.
Right.
But this is going to hurt him.
Yeah.
You know, everything we can do to disrupt these people is a result for us.
They operate between 15 and 20 raids like this a day, sometimes even more. So that was effective, but more importantly, the message is out there. They're on their cases and they're cracking down big time.
Finish off.
Ultimately, there was no evidence to prosecute this suspect for the supply of cocaine. Bloody hell.
Right, let's go.
But Bob's unit, Trident, will continue to work around the clock, pursuing dealers and those involved in gang violence. Trident is responsible for London, but its officers now chase down armed drug criminals all across the UK. Bob has brought me to meet his boss, Detective Chief Superintendent Kevin Southworth. He has the challenging job of bringing violent dealers to justice. Good morning.
Hi, good morning. Welcome, good. Yeah, very well,
Good to see you. Thank you. So this is HQ?
It is. This is Trident's main office.
I'm seeing it in my business almost as a given. It's hip, it's trendy, it's cool, and because of the glamorised side to cocaine, is that making your job harder?
Absolutely. Here in London alone, we see extraordinary levels of violence, gang crime, shootings and stabbings, all of which are linked to the cocaine trade, which, of course, anyone who uses cocaine is contributing to by driving that demand in the first place, driving that trade, which draws young people into it. We've seen record-breaking seizures of firearms over the last 2 years. Over 700 lethal barrel weapons have been seized each year for the last 2 years.
That's 2 a day.
That's 2 a day. It's true to say that over 70% of those weapons that we do recover in those circumstances are also found with a stash of drugs, and usually cocaine or crack, which indicates just how closely the gun supply in this city and gun usage in this city sits with the cocaine and crack cocaine supply.
How do you stay on top of it?
In fairness, it's always going to be a war of attrition and suppression for us, because there is a very high demand. Anyone who thinks that the use of cocaine is in any way victimless is living an absolute lie.
Now, I want to meet the customers who buy cocaine. Without them, this insanely dangerous trade would not exist. Finding somebody willing to speak, however, has been very, very difficult. One lady has very bravely agreed to meet me, because this lady's life was destroyed by cocaine. Rachel.
Hiya.
Thanks for coming to see me. Rachel is 38 years old and used to have a well-paid job in finance. How did your cocaine, addiction start?
I'd say it was like early 20s with my mates. Just, it was a laugh, do you know what I mean? It was like social.
Right.
A social sort of drug.
Right.
And then we were taking it all the time, like every single day, every single night. But I was still doing my job, a good job. I was like a management accountant.
But how did you hide it from work?
I was doing it at work.
You're doing it at work?
Yeah, have one about 10 o'clock in the toilet, just have one at lunchtime, just sort of get through the day, because obviously you've been up late the night before.
Right.
And I'd say to myself, that's it, I'm not doing it no more. And the next day I did the same thing.
How quick did you get it? I mean...
It's like ordering a takeaway.
Like ordering a takeaway?
Yeah.
Literally?
You could never not get it. I never had a time in that 12 years where we couldn't get it.
Right.
It was always available.
What were you spending per week?
At the beginning, probably about £800 a week.
So that's 3,200 a month on average, 40 grand a year. And that's been for 10 years?
12 years? Yeah, I know. I could have been a millionaire, maybe.
Well, there's $500,000.
Yeah.
$500,000.
Spending all our money on coke, nothing else. You know, when I started out, we had a mortgage, new car.
Right.
And at the end of it, with nothing but a TV to my name. But I've been 2 years clean now.
Good.
And life's good today.
She is your typical user. If you saw her in the street, you'd never think that she'd have a habit. The way she talks, the way she presents herself, you just think it's a normal, hard-working girl that has a bright future. Who knew what was going on? What a lonely place she was in. She's out of that mess, and the good news is Rachel's clean. I want to find out exactly how tons of cocaine gets from South America to the shores of Britain so people such as Rachel can order it like a takeaway. My contact at the National Crime Agency has already given me some intel on how cocaine is smuggled here.
In the UK, we're an island nation.
Sure.
It's almost a 360-degree target. Cocaine comes to us from all corners of the planet, basically. Production is here, largely in Colombia.
Traffickers use an extraordinary web of secretive routes to get it from Colombia to our shores.
You've got this Latin American coastline which enters the Caribbean Sea. That's really important because the Caribbean Sea is a gateway not only to West Africa but to the UK as well. Countries that get exploited through this, Panama, Nicaragua, Honduras, these countries are generally less developed, they are vulnerable and they're exploitable. These are the places where bad things happen.
If I'm to understand the cocaine trade, I need to track down the multi-billion-pound trafficking business. I've been told my best chance of meeting a major smuggler is in Honduras. It looks like I'm on the international cocaine trail again. This time, it's Central America. Now, I've never been to Honduras, but what I do know is that it's one of the most dangerous countries anywhere in the world. Honduras is an international staging post for wholesale cocaine. Here, no one is safe from the cartels and criminal gangs who control the trade. I've been in some vulnerable situations in my life, but I've never been in to something as grim as this. I'm shitting myself. I'm touching down in Honduras, one of the world's most dangerous countries outside of a war zone. This nation serves as a clandestine port for Colombian cocaine before it's trafficked to the UK and across the world. Just arrived in Honduras, known as the world's warehouse for cocaine. They say it's up to 300 tons a year of cocaine out of Honduras, with a street value of close to £10 billion a year. That's a lot of coke. From my point of view, this is like the epicenter. I think it's one of the most dangerous times ever. I'm going to be spending time with the country's most famous crime reporter, Orlin Castro.
Buenos días, muy buenos días, Auditorio Nacional, a continuación.
Orlin's covered over 430 murders in the last 2 months alone, the majority linked to the cocaine trade.
Pero podemos observar ahí la balanza que ocupaban para pesar. También podemos observar pasta para hacer droga.
I'm hoping Orlin can get me access to the criminal underworld and give an insight into the violence that's consuming this country.
Les informó Orlin Castro.
Thank you so much.
How was your trip?
Bloody hot.
Yeah.
On the way to meet Orlin, my driver fills me in on the current state of play.
Cocaine, it comes here first.
Comes here first?
This is the bridge. This is the hub.
Yes, because it comes from Colombia. The whole country is filled with cocaine.
And the crime, I mean, it is escalating at all time.
Yes. We can easily have 6 bodies a day.
6 bodies a day?
Yeah. I wish that I was wrong, but probably in your stay here in Honduras, you're going to find someone who's been violently killed. They're basically fighting for territory to sell more cocaine.
Jesus.
Some neighborhoods, you have to scroll your windows down. Especially these kinds of cars with the tilted windows, because you can get shot at easily.
Why?
They're going to kill you because they don't know the car. They don't know who is in the car. So the gangs they're going to shoot first, and second.
Jesus.
Suddenly, we hear that someone's been assassinated in rush hour traffic up ahead.
I can't believe it. 20 minutes in, and already there's been a call with a body. So, Jesus Christ. Shit. Look at this. What is going on?
Yeah, I'll do it.
Right ahead. Just go to the crime scene now. There's flashing lights, cars everywhere.
I find Orlin already at the scene.
He asked if you can see the body.
Right, where's the body?
Adentro del vehículo. Ahí le salen las manos.
Yeah, now I can, yeah. See the hands.
Orlin believes this is a hit by professional killers known as sicarios.
Según información, sujetos a bordo de una motocicleta fuertemente armados fue que le dispararon cuando este se dirigía a su casa habitación, les informó Orlin Castro.
The media from Honduras, they don't want to broadcast the reality, the raw reality.
Don't shout, I'm only here. Talk, don't shout.
Okay?
Thank you.
This is really happened, and you are witnesses. You are witnesses.
So it's starting to kick off, the guy shouting over there about the government and this is what's happening and how corrupt it is, but it's insane. Crazy. And look, around, underneath the bushes, in the trees, there's kids everywhere. Do you really want to bring your kids to a place like this? But it's an everyday occurrence, so it's nothing new for them, just another death.
¿Cómo se siente estar aquí en Honduras?
Honestly, I'm shitting myself with this cocaine warehouse. It's such big business that, how do you slow this thing down?
Aquí en Honduras, muy difícil. Aquí el crecimiento de las maras, el crecimiento de los carteles, y esto es que los deja masacre tras masacre, muerte tras muerte.
Hello? Hi, good night. Have your daughters come to realise what kind of things you report on TV?
La mayor ya empieza a saber ya, y no la dejamos ver. El día que ella me diga que busque otro trabajo, pues lo voy a tener que conseguir otro trabajo.
Orlin's next assignment is at the local police station. I'm curious to see how the authorities deal with violent criminals here.
Guys with jeans and t-shirts and balaclavas running around. Right now, I'm not too sure who's fucking who. They've just got a gang member from one of the largest gangs in Honduras, and they're going to parade this gang member. Now, it's from one of the biggest cartels.
This man's apparently a member of the 18th Street Gang who deal in coke, racketeering and extortion.
So they've just walked him back. They've taken him out of his cell, put him in the middle of the car park, and now they're walking him down across the car park in front of the Honduras media. I mean, what a routine this is. What the fuck's going on?
This, I gather, is a naming and shaming exercise. Suspects are paraded for the cameras daily. Orlin tells me this man is a foot soldier. Big-time cocaine traffickers are rarely captured.
This is surreal. I mean, he looks about 18. Look how young he is.
Feliz noche.
Be safe, and I'll see you tomorrow. Thank you.
It's just so intense. It's hard to gauge that, sat on your ass at home, but I mean, my eyes are everywhere. If it's not a fucking cat up a tree, or a car drives past with darkened windows, or somebody shoots past me on a motorbike, I'm, eyes all over the place. How in the hell are the military or the police going to get back in control with the size of the problem? I mean, it's just insane.
In Honduras, all is not what it seems. By day, the cities are bustling with everyday life. But thousands of people are secretly employed in the international cocaine business. Orlin's agreed to introduce me to people in this underworld.
Hola. Gracias, Oli. You good?
He's taken me into one of the most violent neighborhoods to meet sicarios. Freelance hitmen hired to eliminate anybody who stands in the way of the cocaine business.
In terms of the questions and what I can say and what I can't say, how far can I push it?
Usted pregunte. Tiene línea abierta ahí, 1 hora.
Honestly, I actually feel quite sick. Shit, there we go.
Vamos a entrar. ¿Qué hay, güero?
So, we just arrived. He's jumped out. Shit. Shit.
Hola. Puta, hoy tiene más amueblado, ¿va? Ay, Juan. Claro, ya día listo. ¿Ah? No es lo mismo ahí con Marte, pa.
These assassins charge as little as £50 to murder somebody.
He's ready. ¿Está listo entonces? Sí. Va a tener los chicos.
Muchas gracias. Thank you for your time.
Muchas gracias.
De nada.
How many people do you think you've murdered?
Un promedio, póngale como unos 80, 110 personas.
Do you ever think that you want to stop this?
Pues muchas veces queremos y deseamos, lo hemos deseado, parar. Pero ya no se puede porque, como le digo yo, ¿de qué sirve que un grupo, en lo personal, el grupo de todos nosotros, los jóvenes que pasamos unidos, porque aquí somos una familia, se detenga? Los pandilleros no se van a detener, los narcotraficantes no se van a detener, los administradores del gobierno, los corruptos no se van a detener, porque la corrupción no viene desde arriba, del gobierno para arriba.
You and your organization, you're religious. How do you wake up the next morning with a clear conscience?
Pues mi único consuelo es que cada vez que me levanto yo le digo a mi Señor, Señor, tú me creaste, tú me conoces.
When will you take out your next victim? When will the next assassination take place?
Pues vamos a ir, como dice, directo al grano. Ahorita estamos esperando un trabajo que vamos para afuera del país.
Are these your gentlemen? Hola.
Sí, pa, sí, sáquelo, sí, que le veo.
Excuse me. Sorry. Hola. And that's the weapons you use?
Sí, estas son algunas de estas. Esta es otra. Es la que se utiliza para esa. Esa es una Block.
And is it possible to have a look at the gun? If I can have a look?
Sí. Pásesela. Esta vale, arma vale boca. Yo. Sí.
Yeah. See. Wow. So there's one in the chamber.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. Gracias. Muchas gracias. Hola. I don't know, banana, por favor. Gracias. Thank you. It's fine. Gracias. Smile. See? That's the most intense situation I've ever been in. Just the fixation of his eyes is cold. Really cold. Everything's relating back to business. Everything's about the money, everything's about the coke, everything's about the survival and what this powder has created. And the substance may be bright white from the outside, but from inside it's fucking full of blood.
This is Honduras's Caribbean coast. The cartels use this area to store up to 300 tons of cocaine before shipping it out. I've been trying to track down the elusive masterminds who smuggle the drug to Britain.
I'm on my way down to the coast, and it's a bit of a breakthrough because we've got access to quite a senior smuggler. The strange bit for me is that he's agreed to meet me on a remote part of the beach, which sounds slightly fucking dodgy. Hola. I'm going to jump on a boat, and I'm going to meet him on a part of the shoreline, so... Caribbean shoreline down here is notorious for, you know, smuggling this cocaine out. So, you know, this guy's on his own territory, and I'm going to his manor.
Hola. I've been informed that Carlos, the smuggler I'm about to meet, does business directly with the Colombian cartels. He made his first deal aged just 17.
That should be Carlos. Sat underneath the coconut tree, and it looks like he's got his face covered. Yeah, that's him. Carlos. Hola. Gracias.
Hola.
Good? Good to see you. All good? How does cocaine hit the streets of the UK coming out of Honduras?
Ya para Europa, ya con mulas. Pues contratas una serie de modelos, contratas tus 2, 3 modelos para llegar. Uno le empaca en paquetes de 1 onza y a la mujer le caben 3 onzas. Tenemos amigos en España. En España nos las esperan a las muchachas, hacen una sesión de fotos como que son modelos, y después vía tren para Italia, y de Italia tren para Londres.
Wow. Models. That first transaction, how much money did you make on that?
Si vos vas a hacer el negocio a Colombia, te lo dan $5,000, te sale 1 kilo. Ya puesto aquí, ya lo puedo vender en $15,000. Lo subo a Norteamérica, sube $30,000 más el kilo. Europa ya es 40,000, 45,000 más de lo que lo puedo vender aquí en Europa.
So the multiples are incredible. Big business for you. Dealing with so much cocaine is a very dangerous job. Are you confident you can stay alive?
De que entra al negocio, yo estoy que así voy a morir. Yo sé que así voy a morir. Pero conscientes estamos de todo el crimen y todo eso, pero tenemos familias que mantener también y no hay poco trabajo, todo. Tenemos poca educación también los que estamos en el negocio.
How do you manage to stay alive for so long?
Pagando también, repartiendo mi ganancia a la policía, porque si no se paga a la policía no sobrevivís en el negocio para que te cuiden.
So you've been paying people off to protect your interests and keep yourself alive. Have you made a lot of money?
Sí, mucho.
Mucho? Mucho. Mucho. And thank you for your time. Muchas gracias. Muchas gracias.
Carlos uses a legion of extraordinary smuggling tricks. Private planes and secret runways to fly the cocaine in from Colombia. Human couriers, boats, and even submarines to transport it across the world.
Other 17-year-olds back home would be playing football or, you know, focusing on exams. That guy was off striking deals with a cartel in Colombia, so what a pair of bollocks. I set up businesses, you know, and I worked my arse off. Here, you know, it's pretty incredible when you see how sophisticated they are. But we're dealing with big bucks, and there's a lot of money coming in. He was paying off the police, paying off the military to stay alive. He's outsmarted the system. You know, he's kept his neck above the water. But he's also responsible for a lot of the shit hitting the UK shore.
I've been shocked to learn how people in this business use bribery and murder to protect the distribution of cocaine worldwide. And I've learned how the war on drugs is seemingly unwinnable when the UK's demand for cocaine is so high.
I never thought I'd be this embarrassed. I mean, going back home now with my tail between my legs, and you know, I'm concerned about the shit that's coming to my restaurants. About the shit that's happening to get it to my restaurants. The consequences of taking this shit drug. You know, and everyone thinks it's a party zone. It's not a fucking party zone. It's a war zone.
After what I've seen, I can't just do nothing.
The size of the problem is fucking immense. Yeah, I'm just one man. So what I can do is put my own house in order.
I've spent my entire career surrounded by cocaine and have now discovered evidence of cocaine use amongst my current employees. My ambition is to rid my restaurants of cocaine permanently. So I've gathered together my senior staff. My industry has been turning a blind eye for years. Time to confront this dirty secret head on.
Has anyone ever been in a situation where you've been with your mates and they've said, come on, we're going to do this, take some? I have, first off, let's get that right. Anybody else? I respect your honesty. It's not just us, it's a problem across the industry. There's about 5 of you in the room that was with me when we lost David Dempsey. I had no idea that he had a cocaine habit. I was totally oblivious. If only I knew David Dempsey was on it, do you think I'd be sat having dinner with him the night before he died? He'd be in rehab immediately. Honestly, from what I've seen and what I've witnessed, to lose somebody else now is not an option. That's not going to happen.
Service.
My first instinct was to drug test staff and fire anyone who tested positive. But I feel responsible towards these guys. So, instead, I'm rolling out a plan to tackle cocaine use on the job.
We need to stick together. We need to help to stop our industry losing talented individuals. So here's what we set up. We have a system in place that is there to offer support and help. So you're not isolated.
My managers will be trained to identify the signs of drug abuse, and staff will be offered professional, confidential counselling and even rehab. I'm going to help those who want to be helped. Persistent offenders will be fired and can get the hell out.
I need you to be strong and honest with yourselves, because if you see it, hear it, or maybe have indulged in it, there's help there.
I don't want coke in my restaurants anymore.
Customers taking side plates into the loos to snort cocaine off. How fucking rude. That shit has to stop. For every line of coke taken, the devastation behind the scenes is fucking horrific. You know, deliver that message to that individual. Agreed? Yes. Thank you. I'm not going to change the world. But what I can make is a difference. And that fucking difference needs to start somewhere. And it's starting here.
On this extraordinary journey, I've witnessed the devastation that cocaine brings, the violence and even death.
How can it possibly be cool when someone somewhere may well have paid with their lives for the wrap of cocaine that you're about to shove up your nose?
Whilst demand in the UK has rocketed, it's made dangerous criminals ridiculously rich.
5-4, go with it, go with it.
While the authorities struggle to get a grip on the problem. Every fucking line taken, and every step that I've crossed. Fuck me. If only they knew.
Honestly, I actually feel quite sick. Thousands think that coke is a bit of harmless fun. No one quite understands now the damage it causes before you take it. But if one person can stop using cocaine, knowing now what goes into it, job done.
And if you've been affected by the issues in this programme, please visit itv.com/advice for details of organisations that may be able to provide advice and support. And with more shocking scenes next week as our crime and punishment season continues, Thursday at 9.